Om Namo Bhagavate Ramakrishnaya. Om. Salutations to Bhagavan Ramakrishna. We commence a new study series in the book Self-Knowledge, Atmabodha. Written by Shankaracharya. And it is proper form to salute the teacher. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram. I salute Bhagavat Pada Shankara, who is a repository of the Vedas, the Puranas, and the Smritis, who is the abode of compassion and who is the world's benefactor, who benefits the world. Self-knowledge, those who will follow the text will do well to procure a copy of this. There are many translations. I am mainly going to use the Swami Nikhilananda translation. Swami Nikhilananda was Holy Mother's disciple who lived and worked many years in New York, the East Side Center. He wrote many books. He has translated the Upanishads, the Bhagavad Gita, and some of these texts called the preliminary text or Prakarana Granthas, they are called. They are, or rather, elementary text. And as it is a very long introduction, Swami Nikhilananda has given it's even longer than the very text. But he is not introducing just a text. He is introducing Advaita Vedanta. And he is kind of preparing us in a way to enter into the text. The idea of a long introduction is simply because we are material beings right now. Yet, we have got to change our perceptions. It's only when you change a perception to a spiritual being, then you can appreciate the higher reaches of philosophy. If you're just a material, you're a material person with a material outlook, you have material goals, it's very difficult for Vedanta to penetrate this dense ignorance. So Vedanta grew through a long, you can say, culture of intellectual, you can say, inquiry into the nature of reality. How long? It took thousands of years. How many were contributors? Millions, I would say, over thousands of years. And Advaita Vedanta is not a closed system, it is an evolving system. The foundational principles have been given by these great teachers. So I won't be going through that long introduction. I will be referring some parts of that introduction in order to clarify certain things here. So, the text is Atmabodha, self knowledge. That's the way it's translated. But the word self itself is confusing. For many people, self means different things, obviously. But in Vedanta, it has become technical in the sense of this is the particular definition of Atman. There is a footnote here to this, which Swami Nikhilananda very judiciously decided to include. So the word Atman, generally, it is a very ancient word. And when a word is ancient and has been used by multiple people differently, in different contexts, a host of meanings get attached to it. You take any word, the more ancient it is and which is still current, the more meanings are attached to it. The newer the word is, there is still, you can kind of define it very easily. This word Atman, it means oneself, Swayam, Swabhava, your nature. Sometimes it also means your body, your mind, your intellect, your prana, vital forces. So it also is referred to as Atman. In the Vedanta, it is equated with Brahman. Brahman is the supreme soul, supreme Atman. The word Brahman, Bri, it comes from the word Bri. That is that which is extensive, which spreads, which is all pervading. So that is the meaning of the word Atman. It also means willpower, Dhriti. Why is, as I said, why do we need to know the self? Vedantins have been divided into two classes. One that makes the Atman an abstract entity, nothing to do with anything, which is aloof from your waking and the dream and the deep sleep. Is aloof. How do you grasp it? And there are some Vedantins who make it very dynamic. It is the basis of your life, your thoughts, your mind, your body even, and everything. So it has these two aspects. It is involved in your every activity and yet at the same time detached. So both these explanations have to be understood in the word self. It is not the ego. We generally, self means ego. Oh, no. The ego, according to Vedanta and also the yoga and other philosophies, it is a material entity. And like all material entities and mental entities, it interacts with consciousness. So people say, find out who I am and who are you. Please don't go around asking yourself, who are you, who am I? People will say there's something wrong with you. Yeah, so don't you know who you are? And on a deeper, and philosophically, yes, we do not know who, what, why we are. And these are the questions, the fundamental questions that Vedanta seeks to answer. And so much for Atman. We will discuss this word as we go along. Bodha, it comes from the word Buddh. Ghai dhat, Buddh dhatu, ghai. Now what happens? Buddh is same like Buddha. Buddh is to know, to reveal, to awaken. The same word is buddhi, bodha. So it's awakening knowledge. Awaken, yeah. Secondarily, knowledge. Awakening knowledge. Because what do you awaken from? You awaken from ignorance. That's one way of saying. You awaken to your real self. The self is, in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, we have a very long dialogue, one of the long dialogues. So they say, where is this Atman? So Yajnavalkya tells the questioner, this is the Atman. You've described it like this is the horns and the tail, etc. of a cow. What is the Atman? This is the Atman. Eshata Atma Antaryami Amrita. This is your immortal self, which is the inner controller. So here we have, and at the end of each passage, he keeps on saying, this is your immortal, indwelling self. Eshata Atma Amrita. So this, we do not know it. We do not go into the various reasons why it is not known. But Swami Vivekananda came, it is the most known fact. It is you. It is, but why can't we know that? It's direct and immediate. Again in the Upanishad is saying, what is this Brahman? What is this Atman? It's direct and immediate. Sakshat aparokshad. It is direct. It's like the fruit in the palm of your hands. And aparokshad, without any intermediaries, without the mind and without the intellect and without all these things. Just today in the reading after the Vespers, we had Swami Turiyananda is saying, there is nothing outside. Your world is a projection of your own mind. Yeah, and we make a big thing out of it. We should make a big thing out of what we project outside. So this projection is another doctrine of Advaita Vedanta. It is called adhyasa, superimposition, projection. So who projects, what projects? Okay, and that's the reason why we will go through this text. And like Shankaracharya, he goes to the very heart of the matter. He doesn't beat around the bush. Go straight to it. So the first verses, as we recommend those who would like to follow along, would do well to get a book. It's published by the Vedanta Society of Ramakrishna Vivekananda Center of New York. It's also published by Ramakrishna Math, Chennai. Okay. So the first is, I'll read the English translation and then we'll go to the English. And the Indian, I'm taking the Indian edition of the American one. So it's the same. I am composing the Atmabodha, or self-knowledge, to serve the needs of those who have been purified through the practice of austerities and who are peaceful in heart, free from cravings and desirous of liberation. Now here he goes straight and they say he is uncompromising, Shankaracharya. This is meant only for such people. These are the conditions. Well, what do we do then? Keep moving on. You see, Shankaracharya, Swami Vivekananda says, then arose Shankaracharya, who threw the scorching light of reason, and he built up this system of Advaita. He is the molder, as they say, of Advaita. It's an ancient, very ancient philosophy. Philosophy that is derived from the Upanishads. There were many. Finally, we come to him as a great. He was not the final one. There were others also. Okay, after him. So he molded the very thought of philosophy, Eastern philosophy at least. So here he says, I am composing vidhiyate. So I'll read the Sanskrit for those who are following the Sanskrit. Tapo bihi shina papanam shantanam vitaraginam mumukshunam apeksho ayam atmabodha vidhiyate. I am composing. Now, the Sanskrit is such a beautiful language. It's just impossible to translate it in the very essence. He starts with the word tapobi. It's in the plural. Those who practice tapasya. What is tapas? That tapas, it covers every aspect of life. Tapas is austerity, is translated practice of austerity. It is more than austerity. If you do one thing, suppose you are learning to play the sitar. You practice one day. They practice the next day. And you know how to practice sitar? You practice one day for 10 hours. Yes. You don't say, oh, I played a little. That's not playing. Over and over, 10, 12, 14 hours, 18 hours. We have heard of these musicians. They on, and they can never say, I have completed or mastered that sitar. What that person does all through has got tremendous focus, tremendous willpower, a tremendous desire towards acquiring this knowledge. So whatever you do, there's a kind of a heat generated. Swami Vivekananda translated as heating up the higher nature, one's higher nature, tapa. It is doing a thing over and over and over again. We'll elucidate on this, what the Bhagavad Gita says, what types. Like you can stand on one foot for years. Swami Vivekananda saw, even I have seen, people standing with their hands raised for years. Their hands have withered away, like they have become stumps. They are holding it. That very pain makes their mind concentrated. They are concentrating on that pain. That concentration, that tapas, that heat, that not letting go, that persistence, that grit, that strength, that is what is called tapas. So this is one of the first, we can say, qualifications. While we sit down and say, I'm going to meditate, and after a while, my back starts hurting, and my legs become numb, and my mind is distracted, and then I feel somebody is calling me on my cell phone, and there, it's over. Tapas is, you stay put. Stay put and keep on doing that over and over and over again till you've conquered this. So it is a form of a conquest also. Okay. Then the next word is, he says, who are peaceful in heart, who have been purified through the practice, they say, Kshina Papanam, whose sins are attenuated. Kshina, they've been worn down. Now people say, oh, this is sin. No, the Vedanta idea or the you can say Hindu idea of sin is different from this. So other types of sin. Oh, you're a born sinner and you are saved, etc. That's not the idea of that. Everything that karma that takes you away from your own nature is bad. And everything that takes you towards your own nature is good. So all the faults that you have committed in your materialistic pursuits in the mind that have taken you away from your nature, that is called sin. Swami Vivekananda was very clear in his opening speech, not opening speech, but in the paper of Hinduism. Sinners, the Hindu refuses to call you sinners. It's a standing libel on human nature. Because ye are the children of immortal bliss. So Vedanta recognizes no sin, but it recognizes error. You have deflected yourself, or your mind is deflected to other things. That is sin. It's not something that... another thing is a sin also, it can be countered. You don't need a savior to come and save you. You can save yourself. You will right yourself. So those who have righted themselves, they are going now towards the Atman. Where's the Atman? Yeah, it's infinite, all-pervading, etc. But wait. First, the journey starts within. You better get within. That's the idea. So that the idea that you're going to go back within, inside, is the orientation which attenuates or destroys all other karma that was trying to distract you or to draw your attention in your mind outside. Okay? So those people who have been Shantana, peaceful, peace. Everybody wants peace. Ask anybody, what do you want? Peace. Really? But it will be good if we get a little power. People actually want power more. After we get power, then we want peace. Ask people to choose between what is peace. You want peace or you want power? They will go for that. Immediate gratification. That is what the mind wants. So when you have had enough of this, that is burning me. I come for peace. And at the heart of everyone, that is the innate urge. One wants peace. Why? Because somewhere deep down, that is essentially your nature. In the Mandukya Upanishad, the Atman itself, reality, is called Shantam, Shivam, Advayam. Shantam, peaceful. Shivam, auspicious. And non-dual. So there is that innate, the Atman is obscured here, but it's not completely intangible. It is felt. The kind of, it seeps through these dense clouds of ignorance, and you do feel it. Otherwise, what's the point in going to something you don't even know, don't feel? It's impossible. How do you motivate somebody? So that which is outside, don't search for outside, it's within here. You feel that peace. So Shantanam. Generally it is those who have had all their gross desires finished. It also means that one has learned to restrain oneself, to control the mind, shant, when the senses and the mind are controlled. And then Vitaraginam. Yeah. Raga is attachment. One whose attachments are gone. This world is like you're a traveler. Take it like a traveler. Or you're just it's a kind of a passing show. And the movie gets over, you want to sit down for another movie, then say, okay, sit down, keep on sitting down. Another movie starts, another movie starts. But we are so involved, and then we laugh and we cry and we get so annoyed. That is the problem. After a while, you get attached to it. Those guys have come and they have gone. If you look at your own life, you see it, everything has come and is gone. And we have clung to things, clung to old memories, clung to future prospects of happiness. This clinging, in Vedanta, it's called Trishna. And in Buddhism, Pali Buddhism, it's called Tanha, Trishna. That's the thirst, that clinging. That has left you clinging. And those desires of liberation, mumukshu now. This is very important. If you have this, you have everything. All these other things, all the other qualifications will come by themselves. If you have just this. And Sri Ramakrishna thought in his life how just the desire for seeing Kali brought everything kind of fall into place. Of course, the intensity, Sri Ramakrishna's intensity was tremendous. He used to sweat blood. Okay, that intensity. And you get the idea. So when does this arise? It happens for the fortunate, but it is an ongoing process. Okay. Now we are Vedantins, so you start practicing this and you start doing their self-inquiry also. I mean, for self-knowledge. This is, so Shankaracharya said, I am composing, I am doing rather. This inquiry into the self for such people. Okay. Now, when we begin our journey, we try to go inside. And then, what is inside? I close my eyes and feel everything is kind of dark. Sometimes with the light around, it's something light. There's a kind of a huge wall there. And people stand there near the wall and say, I'm meditating. That is not meditation. Meditation is a very dynamic process. It's breaking obstacles. But as you enter the first door, you enter in and there's a different dimension opens up. And then you enter into another dimension, deeper and deeper. You will find the whole universe there within you. Because each one of us is a microcosm and Brahman is a macrocosm. So the microcosm and the macrocosm. This has been dealt with in the introduction also by Swami Nikhilananda. You cannot have two realities. So Atman is here and the Brahman is here. Oh, so there are two. And somebody will say, no, there's something called Maya also. Oh, 3. Sorry. Vedantins, and it's always there. Like science also goes towards unification. They want to unify all the forces. That grand unification theory and this and that, all it is the drive of the intellect to break into parts. The intellect, what it does, it's khandana. Like you chanted khandana, bhava, bandhana, the breaker. The intellect separates, discerns. And there's another aspect of the intellect which recombines. You dissect things to understand and then combine the whole thing again. So science also works like that. Small parts are being worked out by millions of scientists, and yet there is a kind of an underlying overarching, you can say, view that they're trying to harmonize or connect all the different forces and all the different things together. Today, like if you say, okay, what makes us different? Nothing much. You have the same kind of DNA or the chromosomes which a chicken has, which you probably ate, or you had a banana, that also is the same. Every life has that same chromosome. Everything that has life, including trees. So this is unification. Vedanta did the unification on the spiritual plane. There cannot be any two things. That's why the highest, you can say, dictum in the Vedanta is this Atman is Brahman. Ayam Atma, Brahma. It's in the Upanishads, Mandukya Upanishad. This Atman, it's the same? Yes. Where is it? It is here and now. It's not a post-mortem thing or in some galaxy far, far away. It cannot be. There, your search will begin with yourself. It will be peeling back the layers. You enter into each dimension. So your initial foray into this search will be done through meditation. Now, when I say meditation, it's like I said, it's not just closing eyes. It's dynamic. It is using tremendous willpower. If I am asked to lift this small podium here, I can. I won't do it now, of course. I can. But if I'm told to hold it for 1 hour, there I'm gone. It needs tremendous strength. People sit down to meditate in a passive way and they'll fall asleep. I tell you. That's it. So meditation needs tremendous strength. It's a very dynamic process. You're cutting through the layers that hide it. Because, as I said, the Atman has various epithets or meanings attached to it. You cut through the outer layers of those meanings, deeper and deeper. At every step, you'll find more meaning in life. And as you go deeper and deeper, you'll find things are opening up. It's like falling down the rabbit hole and like Alice in Wonderland. And a huge new world has opened up. But that falling has to be controlled by you. You cannot just go and jump. It has to be done in stages, slowly and slowly and slowly. So there are various methods given in the scripture. Even in Vedanta, Swami Vivekananda wanted the combination of all the 4 yogas: jnana, bhakti, karma and yoga. Because we have these 4 faculties here. We can reason, we know how to love, we have the power of work, and we have the power of concentration also. But impelling all these will be that willpower. That willpower is essential. And that's the reason why they say, tapobi, that which one has become drilled into constantly, over and over and over again. So that you can say, it's worse than a boot camp, I tell you. And there's no one to look at you, no one to guide you. You got to do it yourself. That's the biggest problem in Vedanta. So there are teachers who will dilute, make it kind of less. Oh, okay, let's put a little water in the sharbat. And they will give you something, some watery thing, and say, this is good. Shankaracharya, no, you get the condensed thing. I'm not going to give it to you straight. In whom does the desire for liberation come? These are the people. And like I said, if it comes, there is always at the lower grade a desire to come out of bondage. The young don't see it. The old, they know it. It's in their bones. How life is such a big bondage. And no teacher has ever said, life is smooth and easy and rosy, and yes, you can go and dance and you can sing. No teacher has said that. They said, life is hard. Life is suffering. Show me one genuine teacher who has said, these are the compromisers. Like I said, they put water in that sharbat, and give it to you. That's good. They speak of utopian ideas. Everything is so nice and sweet. Forget it. And those who have understood, those who have struggled, they know what bondage is. And our very fact, our life is nothing but a struggle against limitations. It can be sociological, it can be political, it can be financial, it can be psychological. We are pushing back against this. There's no doubt about it. And the day you give up that struggle, you spiral out. You've lost the battle of life. Yeah. You'll see people with that kind of glazed look. They are defeated. They have given up the struggle. Life has brought a bunch of problems which they could not face, and they forget it. They let go. That not letting go, that fighting is a manifestation of life. And those who have struggled against bondage, they will know that spiritual freedom is this. This is what I'm going to. So though it is reserved that for few that they will have this desire for liberation. Like what? Like Sri Ramakrishna and other teachers have said, like a disciple goes to a guru and says, yeah, I want to be free, etc. Yeah. And then the guru takes him to a pond and grabs the nape of his neck and pushes him under. Then he pulls him out. What did he want? I wanted to breathe out a breath of air. When you have that kind of intensity, you want God, you will get it. But like I said, for the rest of us, we are pushing back. We are pushing back against ignorance. We are pushing back against Maya. This is an awakening. It is not a point in time. Oh, 3 years from now on this particular day, it will be Friday, and 7 p.m. it's going to happen. It's not going. It doesn't happen like that. It's an ongoing. Self-knowledge is an ongoing process. The more you push back, the more you will know. The more you'll develop your willpower, the more you will have these qualities that are enumerated here. This is how we slowly go. So, those who begin, we have already actually begun. As we mature, we see things around, we are going towards something which is a little hazy, it's ill-defined. No, Sri Ramakrishna says in a say, what's the goal of life? To see God. People are saying all this while, eat, drink and be merry. Yeah? Oh, don't worry, it's been tried for more than 10,000 years or even more earlier. We've been trying that eat, drink and be merry is the goal of life, and it hasn't worked. So the goal of life wasn't clearly defined. Here Vedanta defined self-knowledge. But it's not an end point. Every time you're going towards it, you're taking a step towards it. So it's a process. Think of it as a process that goes on. Every time you take a step towards the light, you're going towards self-knowledge. The self that is hidden within you. We stop here for now. The explanation is not yet over of the first. Okay, we'll take this up next Friday because we need to elaborate on certain things also. As we proceed, don't worry, it won't be so lengthy. I was just laying the groundwork. We will take the in-person questions there. I'll take the online questions here. Okay. Thank you. There's no questions, just thank you. So we will take the in-person questions here, if there are. Just to make a few announcements, Sunday we are celebrating Sri Ramakrishna's birthday at 11 a.m. here in this very place. It will be live streamed, and so the puja starts at 11, and there will be the ritualistic worship puja. Then we have the bhajans, and then we also have a small talk on Sri Ramakrishna. And to cap it off, there will be a prasad, which is again, like I remind people, that's part of the celebration. So you all welcome. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu. And of course, our Sunday school children will also be back, mother's children.